In this video, we are going to be looking at probability. In a previous video, I told us that probability of an event is equal to the number of required outcome all over number of possible outcomes. So we have number of possible outcome. Now, also remember, I told you that there is a range between 0 and 1. Now, if I told you that the probability of an event occurring is, let's say, 1 over 4, and I ask you, what's the probability of the event not occurring? Now, to be able to get the probability of the event not occurring, all you need to do is 1 minus 1 over 4. Do you understand? So if I tell you that the probability of an event occurring is 1 over 4, it's like here we have 1 over 4. So the probability that the event is occurring is this part. So if I ask, what's the probability that the event is not occurring? I'm trying to find this part. Does that make sense? And to find this part, all you need to do is 1 minus 1 over 4. You find the LCM. LCM of 1 and 4 is 4. 4 divided by 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. So I have 4 minus 1 all over 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So I have 3 all over 4. Do you understand? So if I tell you that the probability that Ade wins a match is 3 over 4, and I ask you, what's the probability that Ade loses? All you need to do is 1 minus 3 over 4. So when you are asked to do the opposite, you just do 1 minus whatsoever the probability is. Do you understand? So if the probability that it succeeds is 0.6, and you ask for the probability that it fails, that will be 1 minus 0.6, which equals to 0.4. Does that make sense? The probability that it travels abroad is, let's say, 2 over 3. The probability that it does not travel abroad will be 1 minus 2 over 3. The probability that Ade did not eat is, let's say, 1 over 2. If you are asked to calculate the probability that it eats, that will be 1 minus 1 over 2. Do you understand? So don't forget, when you are given the probability of an event as something, and then you are told to find the probability of the opposite, all you need to do will be 1 minus the probability you were given. Does that make sense? So in essence, if probability of E is A, the probability of not E would be 1 minus A. Also, if the probability of E of an event is, let's say, A over B, the probability of the opposite will be 1 minus A over B. I hope you understand. Now let's go to the other thing I would like to show you in this video. Now I would like to teach you addition rule in probability. Now in probability, anytime you have or is synonymous to addition. Do you understand? Anytime you have or is synonymous to addition. Now there are other things you should know, but you would know by and by. But just have it at the back of your mind that if they ask you what's the probability that Ade wins or Ade loses, it means you add the probability of what you were asked to find. Now the best way to really understand this is to take an example. So let's take an example. So we've got this question. A bag contains 10 marbles, 24 onyx, and 12 diamonds. If a stone is picked at random, what's the probability that it's an onyx, it's a diamond, it's a marble, it's either an onyx or a diamond, it's either a marble or an onyx? Now let's solve this. So remember, we're told that we have 10 marbles, 24 onyx, and 12 diamonds. Now the first thing we want to do is to write the formula for probability. Probability that an event will occur is the number of required occurrence or required outcome all over number of possible outcomes. Can you see? Now remember, the total is always the denominator, while what you are asked to find is always the numerator. So from the question, we have 10 marbles, 24 onyx, and 12 diamonds. So we have number of marbles equals to 10, number of onyx equals to 24, number of diamonds equals to 12, and then we have the total equals to 10 plus 24, 34 plus 12 will give us 46. Do you understand? So let's answer question A. What's the probability that the stone picked is an onyx? So we have probability that it's an onyx will be equals to, how many onyx do we have? 24 all over, what's the total number of stones? 46. Do you understand? 2 goes here 12, 2 goes here 23. So we have probability that it's an onyx equals to 12 over 23. Do you understand? Now let's do for B. Let's rub up this so we can solve for B. So B is, what's the probability that the stone picked is a diamond? So we have probability that it's a diamond equals to, how many diamonds do we have? 12. And what's the total number of stones? 46. 2 here 6, 2 here 23. So it means that probability that it's a diamond equals to 6 over 23. Do you understand this? Let's rub up so we can find C. So we have C. What's the probability that the stone pick is a marble? So probability that it's a marble. How many marbles do we have? 10 all over. What's the total number of stones? 46. 2 here 5, 2 here 23. So we have probability that it's a marble equals to 5 over 23. Do you understand this? Alright, so let's find D and E. Let me rub up so we can find D and E. Now from what we solved, we discovered that the probability of picking an onyx is 12 over 23. And we got probability of picking a marble as 5 over 23. And probability of picking a diamond at 6 over 23. Now let's do D. D says, what's the probability that the stone pick is either an onyx or a diamond? Now we know that probability of picking an onyx is 12 over 23. We know that probability of picking a diamond is 6 over 23. And then I told you that all in probability symbolizes plus. So all we just need to do is to add the probabilities together. Do you understand? So let's solve it. Probability of onyx or diamond will be equals to, what's the probability of onyx? 12 over 23. Or means plus, what's the probability of diamond? 6 over 23. Do you understand? Now we find the LCM. LCM of 23 and 23 will give us 23. 23 divided by 23 is 1. 1 times 12 is 12. Plus 23 divided by 23 is 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Do you understand? 12 plus 6 is 18. So we have 18 over 23. Do you understand? So let's do E. E is, what's the probability that it's either a marble or an onyx? Now we do this. Now don't forget, probability that it's a marble plus probability that it's an onyx. So we have probability of marble or onyx. Now, what did we get as probability of marble? We got it as 5 over 23. And what did we get as probability of onyx? 12 over 23. So we'll be having 5 over 23 plus 12 over 23. Now we also find the LCM. 23 divided by 23 is 1. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 23 divided by 23 is 1. 1 times 12 is 12. So we have 5 plus 12 all over 23. And this will give us probability of marble or onyx equals to 5 plus 12 is 17 all over 23. And this is our answer. So don't forget, when you have something like this, probability of picking a marble or an onyx, you find the probability of picking a marble, you find the probability of picking an onyx, and you add them together. Same thing if you have probability of picking a red ball or picking a blue ball. You find the probability of picking a red ball, you find the probability of picking a blue ball, and then you add together. I hope you understand.